So Hare Krishna, welcome all the devotees. So let us have one more session of understanding Lord Krishna as the creator, maintainer, and also destroyer. So that is the theme we are going to discuss. So today we have our on screen one of the famous shloka. So somebody would like to read the shloka and the translation. You can unmute yourself.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Swati Mataji. Yes.
Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Sri Bhagavan Vacha Kalosmi Lokakshayakrit Pravriddho Lokan Samharatan Iha Pravritta Rite Pitvam Na Bhavishyanti Sarve Ye Avastitha Prati Amikeshu Yodaha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "Time I am, the great destroyer of the world, and I have come here to destroy all people, with the exception of you, the Pandavas. All the soldiers here on both sides will be slain." Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you so much. So here, if you see, Mataji said that translation by Srila Prabhupada. Yes, of course, if it was not Srila Prabhupada, we wouldn't have understood or read Bhagavad-gītā. We would have been somewhere else. And, we would not have been in there this session. So I remember the past time where once there were a couple of devotees with Srila Prabhupada, and Srila Prabhupada was asking the devotee who was giving the report of book distribution. So he asked, "Are you reading my books?" So that devotee said, a disciple, that "No, Srila Prabhupada, I do not have time. So we wake up for Mangalarti, so many things, cooking has to be done, maintenance of the temple, then go out, distribute the books in the streets, Harinam Sankirtan. Then by the time you come back, you again make arrangements for the next day. So we are all tired and we are just going to the bed, crashing in the bed. So we are not getting time to read." Then Srila Prabhupada chastised him. "If you don't read my books, how will you distribute? And how will you understand this philosophy? How will you understand Krishna? So how will you explain others, encourage, motivate to distribute the books?" So that is what Srila Prabhupada said, and he was taken aback, and he said, Prabhupada said that, "Do you know that I read my books? I have to read my own books, the whatever I have dictated in the dictaphone and I have written. I read my own books. Do you know why?" And disciple said, "No, Prabhupada, we don't know." So then he said that it's because whenever in the night I sit and translate in the dictaphone, Krishna comes in front of me and he tells me what to write. And he dictates and I write. I dictate in the phone. So that is how Srila Prabhupada was. So he openly said what was happening. So disciples were amazed at this conversation. This has been recorded. So, and this conversation is there. So Srila Prabhupada was always guided with Krishna himself dictating what to do, what not to do, where to go. So he was always in conversation with the God. Yeah, so that is how Krishna is. So with his pure devotees, he will come in front of them. He'll speak to them. It's a different world. Even some of the devotees who are there in the moment now, there are so many, like we have conversations. They say how Krishna communicates or reciprocates with them. They ask something. There's some solution required in the sadhana. They're not able to chant properly, or they want something to do for Krishna. And he reciprocates in such a manner that it has been answered and they're happy. Yes, Krishna answered immediately or after some days. So that is how Krishna is. So I remember this by reading the shloka. And in the shloka, Krishna talks about time. So he's telling he's time and he's the destroyer. Okay, so of course, Krishna, if you see in Bhagavad-gītā, he maintains that he is the creator, he tells Arjuna, I create everything based on my, the spark. Everything has been maintained. There are so many things running here and there. Everything is in place. And also, when time comes, I'm the destroyer. So this is what Krishna is telling. So this is a incident from Chowpatty devotee. This is a real incident. So there was one Mataji who was going to the temple regularly, and she met an atheist. So the atheist asked, why do you do so much of chanting and God always? Why don't you work hard? Everything, by working hard you get everything. See, I have received everything. I work hard. I have my own company. Sorry. With the money I'm maintaining my family, I have so much of wealth, so I don't depend on God. There's no God. So that is what he said. So then this Mataji was like, no, whatever you have, that strength, money, everything, whatever you're enjoying, that is given by God. So this argument went, then he said, okay, let me teach her a lesson. So he had one of the secretary and he said, you go to her every day, give her the supplies, whatever she needs, but don't tell her who's sending. So every day this servant used to go give everything to her. So like this, it happened for 1 month. Then after 1 month, this guy came and he spoke to that Mataji that, see, how things are going in your life. She said, yes, everything is getting supplied. One man is there sent by God, and he is giving me all the grains, whatever money is required. He said, oh, you fool, that was me. That servant is, the servant is mine. He was the one who was sending, and I was the one who was supplying to you, not your God, he said. Then the Mataji had tears in her eyes and she said, oh, Krishna, you're so merciful. Through an atheist also, you're fulfilling my desires, my basic needs. So this is the faith devotees have. So we trust in God. So this is what is required. Nowadays, people have trust in dog because they place their care, love, everything for the pets. But they don't understand if the pets they revoke or they stop they stop the way they are. If they start doing something else like how humans are, then nobody will have pets. So we have to understand that how Krishna is maintaining everything, how he is reciprocating. So there's allegorical story. There's one Muslim king called Asabdullah, and he was having everything. He was maintaining a kingdom, and there are many people in his kingdom. So there were his ministers, Chamcha ministers. So Chamcha ministers will always, like how we have ministers now, they glorify their ministers. They're always there in the events, putting up posters everywhere, following. So a lot of followers are there. So Asabdullah was there, and his ministers would always be, "Sab kuch deta hai, Asabdullah, kya dega Allah." So like that they were. And there was one devotee who would always say, "Sab kuch deta hai Allah, kya dega Asabdullah." So that is how it was, opposite. So this Asabdullah, what he did, he wanted to teach ministers a lesson. So he asked the minister that, do you believe in God? Huh? Do you think that I am the maintainer? Then, ha, Japana, yes, everything, you're there. Kya dega Allah, sab kuch Asabdullah. So it was like that. So, all this maskifying, putting butter on the king. So that's how they were. So Asabdullah said, okay, I'll do one thing. I'll give you every day a present. You have to keep it with you. Okay. And one day I'll ask you how much you have collected. And that is what is required. So every day night, this king Asabdullah would give one watermelon to this minister, and that watermelon would be crack opened little bit, and he would take out some of the juices, the pulp, and he would fill with gold coins, and he would give this cracked one. You might have seen a cracked watermelon. Nowadays, watermelon season. Nobody likes it because we don't purchase it, because if it is cracked, it's gone. We don't purchase it. And this minister was like, yeah, I glorify him so much, I praise him so much, everything, and he's giving me every day one present cracked watermelon. So what he did, that minister went to the market and he wanted to sell. He didn't want to keep it. So he saw one thelawala, some hawker, street hawker. So he was selling watermelon. So he said, do you want to keep this watermelon? So I don't want it. So that watermelon guy, like, okay, fine, let me keep it, and he gave him 10 rupees. So every day he used to sell all the watermelons, this street hawker, and everybody took all the watermelons, but this remained cracked watermelon. Nobody liked it. So there was this devotee who was always in firm faith that Lord will take care of everything. So he came and he was asking for this watermelon. He used to take away. And he used to give 10 rupees. This thelawala also was giving very cheap price. So the entire watermelon for 10 rupees. So like this every day, this happened for 1 month, for a quite few days. And then this king Asabdullah asked, what happened? I want to see all your presents. So the minister said, "Apana, kya aap bhi aisa present dete ho? So you are giving me all cracked watermelon. What will I do with that? Who will eat it? I just give it away." So whom did you give? You fool, he asked. So he went to the street hawker and he said, Japana, I gave it to this guy. And he called that guy and he said, what happened with those watermelon? So he said, there's a person who is coming and taking this cracked one, open one watermelon every day. So then go search him and call him. So for his surprise, this guy was a beggar earlier, but he came with a nice robes, nice dress, everything. He came, and so he came in front of the king and he bowed down. So then he said, "This is the guy you were talking about?" "Yes, yes." So then he asked that guy, "So what is that change in your life? How it is that?" So he said, "Kya dega Asabdullah? Sab kuch dega Allah." So that is the firm faith that Allah will maintain everything. So this is the allegorical example which I wanted to give. So how we have to instill our faith in Lord Krishna, that somehow through he maintains us, he has given us this life of human form, and we go forward. We believe that because of my deeds or my work, I'm living life beautifully. Everything is happening because I'm maintaining everything. I'm working hard. I prepare my resume very nicely. I go out for the companies. I work. I have my company or I have my business. So I'm an entrepreneur. I'm doing such startups. I have my capital. I'll invest here and there. I get profits. No, we think like that everything is happening because of my shrama. But we don't understand that everything in our life is fixed. So every actions what we perform, that is there, but whatever we are getting in our life, everything is fixed. Either it can be happiness or sadness, some good instances or bad instances. Everything is fixed, whatever is happening. But only how we respond to it is something which is in our control. That is what we have to understand. So how we respond to the situations, that is very important. So devotees would always, be it bad situations or good situations, we always think that, okay, there is something which Krishna wants to give us a lesson. He wants to communicate with us. That is what we, our consciousness is, our understanding is. Jaise, the father would chastise the child. Why would the father chastise a child? Because it is doing something wrong. To correct him, the father is chastising. The child may feel bad at that time, it may cry. But when there are good times, the father is hugging, it is embracing the child, and it is loving, caring, affection is shown. So similarly, Krishna also in our life, he comes, he cares for us, he gives affection, and he gives us whatever is required for us so that we can increase our bhakti. And we also show that we place our faith, just like a child places its faith and trust and love, affection in the parents, especially mother. Mother and father is required for a child. So similarly, we also have to, like a child, place our faith and everything in Krishna, so he takes care of us. So sometimes which is not required, we may be very rude or will be rude, we might be crying, but he takes away. Yeah, so he may take away something and give us something else which will feel us very happy. Yeah, so we don't want to spoil our children. So similarly, Krishna doesn't want to spoil us. So we need to have this kind of faith and trust in Krishna, so he will take care of us. So we have to understand that Krishna is maintaining us. He has given us all these requirements in our life so that we can progress in spiritual practice. Somehow or other, somewhere we don't know what Agnata Sukruti. We don't know what I have done in my previous life or many lifetimes back, that I got in touch with someone there, they inspired me then in this life, and somewhere we got in touch with some devotee, introduced us to Krishna consciousness. We are able to chant, we are able to continue with our sadhana, we are able to read, hear, attend classes, go to Mangalarti, have darshan of the Lord. Every day we are praying, we are so many chanting, prayers are happening. So all this is because of mercy of the devotees. So this is the grace we have in our life. So what we have to pray, we should pray that we should not lose this. We should not get lost. So we should not lose this grace. We should not lose the mercy we have, and we keep praying for continuous mercy. So that is the devotees' prayers. And we always have to pray that keep us in bhakti, keep us this consciousness, that I was always remember you, and thank Lord Krishna always that whatever I have been doing is for him and I live for him. So please remember that love is two-way, not one way. You've seen boy and girl, there's always expectation that the love is always two-way. The boy wants to express his feelings, emotions to the girl, and girl also wants to exchange the same frequency, right? So similarly, we also have to understand that the Lord has given us everything. But he doesn't stop. The one good thing is the Lord doesn't stop his care for every living entity. Like in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says he's the friend of all the living entities. He takes care of every living entity. Where do you think the elephant gets his food? The elephant in a day eats at least a minimum of 50 to 100 kilograms of food. Just imagine 100 kilogram food, where do we get? So much we have to do hard work to get 100 kilos of so many things if we have to eat. So Krishna is maintaining the elephant. Elephant is there, so many females are there with the elephant, there are the small putty animals with it. So who is maintaining? So the nature is giving, and whose nature? Krishna is giving everything to them. So many animals are living, insects. So Krishna is supplying everything for whatever is needed for the animals. But the humans are in anxiety, what will happen next? So this is what happens when you're in tamasic and rajasic. Rajasic was always in anxiety, what happens next? And tamasic is like he'll go into depression. My life is doomed. I may not survive. So he has to always work hard to get so many things in his life. So this is how living entities are in. But we have to cross above all these three modes and be in the Shuddha Sattva. Always think about the Lord, that whatever is there, you have to be thankful and take care of it. So one of the Prabhuji is the devotees in Delhi. He gets 15,000 rupees salary. So you understand how much 15,000 is salary. एक हफ्ते में खत्म हो जाता है. In 1 week, you'll exhaust that 15,000. right? Either Delhi, Mumbai, or Bangalore. That's how our lifestyle is. But living in a city of 15,000 rupees salary, he's able to maintain his family. He has two kids. He has big Jagannath, and the everyday offerings is going on. And in fact, he distributes in the evening the prasadam to others. 15,000, maintaining the family with everything. And you have to give rent, you have to give for the school fees, you have to take care of the medicals, everything. But still, they've been living for so long, so many years, it's happening. So Krishna takes care. Somehow it is miraculous, mysterious that they have been living even in a city. Even in Bangalore, I've seen devotees living with a small, meager amount that they receive. But there are people who get even lakhs of rupees in salary and they're not happy. They are going to the bar and drinking wine in the weekends because they want to cheers. This is what is happening with the material world, materialistic people. So once you become devotee, you will understand your actual position. Where is the supplies coming from, and who is maintaining you, and how you depend on the Lord completely. So this is what we have to understand our position is. So the position of the devotee is, or the rather the natural state of the living entity is to always serve the Lord. Because it's been given our human birth, human form, we have to understand this. So that is very important that Srila Prabhupada mentions about this, what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he says that Bharata Bhumi Janma Hoile. So he mentions this shloka that many lectures which I have heard, that the people who are especially born in this Bharata Varsha, Bharata Bhumi, especially the tract of land where all these pastimes happened, we have to engage in our Krishna consciousness and spread this across everywhere. Janma hoilo, Janma sartakari para upakar. So what is a Janma sartaka? Sartaka means achieve something. We have to achieve some. Sartaka, we tell her, in Kannada also we tell, yen sadhane, yen sartaka madde. I don't know about Telugu or Tamil, but in Kannada also we say. So sartaka means something you have to achieve. So what is the Janma sartaka? Para upakar. So someone who does good for others is called upakar. So in spiritual way, what it is mentioned here, you have to uplift from the people who are in the lying low level of life. Low level or low class doesn't mean that poor or they are poverty for food, poverty stricken. No, that is not the meaning. They are malnourished with the spiritual activity in their life. So we have to engage them. So for that, we have to engage ourselves in our spiritual activities. So that is what is required. We have to first of all practice very nicely and follow our sadhana every day. We have to worship the Lord. We have to go to the temple, associate, and pull others also. That hey, come see, this thing is happening in this city. This is what is happening in the temple. Nice classes been given, prasadam, call the feast. So that's how it is. So this is what happens in our temple also. Exactly at the prasadam time, there is so much of crowd. This is not only in Bangalore, so many temples also I've seen. During the prasadam time, people come, but during the class time, the halls are empty. So of course, people love feasting, people love prasadam, eating food. Yes, that effect is there. Prabhupada mentions that prasadam is one of the instruments. He always kept sweets with him on his desk anytime any visitor would come. And you will hear also the conversation tapes that Prabhupada would, like, somebody is leaving. Okay, did you give? He would call out his secretary. Did you give, like sometimes Tamal Krishna, did you give prasadam to him? So it's like that. So Prabhupada always stressed on this, that anybody comes to them or visits any ISKCON temple or any centers, make sure that prasadam is given to the visitors. So they might not understand the philosophy of what we speak, or but the prasadam has its effect. So this is one of the the effect which happens, people eating prasadam. So that is one. So Prabhupada also one time he chastises, what will make your 3 hours or classes what you give, what effect is there on the people? Distribute books and it will change their life. So book distribution was the basis, and Prabhupada always mentioned that books will change someone's life. We have seen that you all have come reading books, Prabhupada books. Nowadays we have a digital world. Of course, digital, the apps, everything is there, but the original, the book form which is there, the physical book form, that is very effective. We sit, we give our time, sit in a couch or sofa, anywhere, or a table, we sit, read, take into our head, understand. These books are not just normal books written by some poet or some author. These are the books which are spoken by Lord Krishna and Srila Prabhupada himself. They are translating. And this has effect on our consciousness. Somehow it is mysterious that someone reads the books, there is changes in their life. It can be immediate or it can be in the future. As I've mentioned this past time earlier also, in many classes also, there was one devotee who got changed just by getting in touch with one of the book distributor. He was in a very bad condition. He had filed a divorce. Wife was going away. Children were one of the children was into taking drugs, and he was very disturbed. This is in the foreign country, and book distributor came and he spat on him because he was so much angry, and then he did not react. He just wiped his face, and this devotee, he gave the flyer. So then he came back. He apologized. I'm in bad situation in my life, and you see, you're very happy even if I spit on you. You just wiped it. You did not say anything. So he said, I know how to control my anger, but you're suffering, that I can see. So that's how he got the flyer. He went to the local center. He started attending the regular classes, taking prasadam, engaged in services, doing seva. Now he is a initiated devotee. So this is how life changes. We start with getting in touch with devotees' books, so life changes. So there's one story also. This is a real incident from, of course, the past times. What I'm telling is all real incidents only. So one of the, I think, European country. At that time, when during Srila Prabhupada's time, Srila Prabhupada did not stay at one place more than a week or maybe 2-3 days. So, but Prabhupada said that translate into as much as possible languages and distribute across. So it was that when this was, I think, translated into Italian language, and this was getting distributed. And Prabhupada, I think, it had not been yet to this city or the center. So somehow this book reached this person, and he did not care. He just gave some donations, and he kept it like that in the shelf for I think more than a year or something. He did not even touch. It was full dusty. But there was a lot of changes happening in his life. So mother was bedridden. He wanted, she was about to leave her body. So she was suffering, and wife was not taking care of the family very nicely. A lot of disturbances which are happening in Western life. If you see, family life is always broken. They are not gelling together like how we see Indian family. We socialize a lot. Nowadays, it is changing because we want to be a nuclear family and we don't want to talk to our neighbors. We don't want to interact because if we get into some conversation, there's something happening. So nowadays we are also moving towards the Western kind of family lifestyle. More divorces happening. You love for 10 years and after 1 month of marriage you want divorce. So this is how is our the modern India which is running, which because we are breaking away from that old customs traditions which used to follow, where we all have to live like a happy family, engaged together. So we are breaking away. So our generation, because our previous generation, my father, we all lived together, joint family. Then we all broke. So now we are all living individual houses, just husband, wife, child. Now, no, so many cases or stories I hear that my friends also, there are a lot of things, fightings happening, there's misunderstanding, they just don't want to live in the family. So many things happening. So it's all from the Western culture we are following, all this Westernization happening. So this person also similarly, what is happening is family was breaking apart. So he's very distressed. So one day in his room, he just looked at that book. He had this Bhagavad-gītā and he took up this book and he started reading. And that's how it changed his life. So he became a devotee. So, like this, many people go through their experiences. We also are having our experiences. If you truly, with soul, complete heart, when you pray to Krishna, you'll see that he'll reciprocate or he'll answer you in some or the other way. You keep asking him. Keep asking Srila Prabhupada that, I want to engage in your service. I want to engage in this bhakti process. So he will somehow answer. He will somehow reciprocate. You'll get the answer in some other way. It can be through a person or it can be through some instances. So, there will be some situation he will answer you definitely. So this is the experience of every devotee is going through. The one who is not serious, he will not stay back in ISKCON or Hare Krishna movement. He will get out of it because he is either you have to be with Krishna, you have to choose Krishna or you have to choose Maya. So it's up to us. So you want to choose Maya, it is very easy. Anyways, the person who is in ISKCON or he's the person who's following Krishna consciousness, he is also getting attacked by Maya. At the same time, the only thing is we pray to Krishna that get us away from Maya. Okay. So we have a decision making that we want to stay in Maya or we want Krishna. So that's how we have to. Of course, Maya and Krishna, they are both same because Maya also is the external energy of the Lord. But Maya is something which keeps us bound to this material world. It will not get released and we'll continuously suffer life after life. We're thinking that we'll get some happiness in one life. This is the illusion, grand way of life which is running. But at the same time, if you surrender to Krishna, he takes care of everything. And you have to keep asking your father, just like a child keeps asking the father, give me this, give me that, take me here, I want this. So many things we ask our father. So similarly, we have to ask our spiritual father, the original father, that please help me in bhakti. I want to go as early as possible. This should be my last lifetime that I don't want to take birth again. I want to go back to Krishna and relish, enjoy that pastimes, which is eternally happening. Because I understand, I come to the position that I am an eternal being. So I belong to which is eternal, not this temporary world. This is the understanding of Krishna consciousness. So I end my class here. Thank you very much for attending the session. So hope we will meet again next week. Hare Krishna. Oh, sorry, tomorrow. Yes. Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam.